Is it true that defense win championships?
Can a powerful offense shame a dominant defense?
Bam! We're back, sports fans, with another episode of Say That Shit. Real talk from a fan's perspective. I'm Nell.
I'm JB.
Hey, look, we hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and we hope going in the future you have a very, very happy New Year. But we want to bring some new sports talk for your ass tonight, and I think we got a great topic to discuss moving forward. We're going to talk about our Saints, our beloved Saints. But first, I want to give a shout out to my man Drew Breezy from the Big Easy, who broke Dan Marino's passing record of 5,084 yards.
Yes,
that
sir.
stood 27 years in the house against the funky ass, pissy ass, dirty ass birds. You understand? I love when we bust the birds up. JB?
That's what I'm talking about.
And it was a smashing. It wasn't even close. So people who are in Atlanta who came down to New Orleans, here's what I gotta tell you. Fuck you. We like that. Anyway, JB, let's get into this, man. Look. How far do you think this defense of ours can take us into the playoffs?
Well, I think it can take us far. I mean, we have some elements with our whole team to ensure that we can win a championship. Now, our defense has some deficiencies, but one thing they have been able to do is hold that point total down to 19.
Right.
They have been hitting hard, they have been aggressive, and I've noticed in the last 7 games that the pass rush has slightly increased. However, in order for us to win a championship, I think there's one thing that we definitely got to do in the playoffs. We got to increase our turnover margin. If we can get those turnovers in the playoffs, then that will assure that we have a shot at going back and winning another championship and playing and representing New Orleans in another Super Bowl.
Well, I agree with you. I think one of the things that, we missing, man, we miss the presence of Darren Sharper.
Yes, sir.
I think Darren Sharper, knee injury and a surgery with microfracture surgery that he had in the offseason, as a fan, we wanted them to sign Sharper back. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know the intricacies of what was going on with this guy's knee, how bad he was hurt or how severe his injury was, whether he could actually come back and compete or not. But the fact that he's not here shows us a glaring weakness of why we haven't been able to create those turnovers. Even right now, we got some guys, man, in the back in the secondary, when the ball hit the hand, we can't complete the turnover.
That's
right. We're missing interceptions. We getting them, but they're there, they're present. But for some reason, man, that ball is just not falling in our guys' hands, and we need to get that addressed. So what do you think?
Exactly. And along with what you're talking about just now, we rank last in turnovers in the NFL. I think we only have 14 turnovers total.
For the season.
Right. But that just goes to add weight to the fact that we have a dominant football team as a whole. Special teams, offense, defense, when it all comes together. In 2009, let's face it, we had a lot of things to bounce our way. We went up against some rookie quarterbacks. Darren Sharper took advantage of that.
Right.
I forget how many TDs he had for touchdowns off of interceptions, but that was a huge help in that season at that time. So the bottom line is that we have to make sure that we get those turnovers because this offense is better than it was in 2009. We're going out and straight smashing ass this year. That's why if we get these turnovers in the playoffs, we're going to get that Lombardi trophy again.
Man, look, I want to win another Lombardi, JB. Like, there's nothing greater than I want for this team for us to have multiple championships. Because I get tired of hearing Breeze and the Saints is one-time champions and Breeze a one-time champion quarterback. And I'm actually tired of hearing him being compared to Manning brother and all of one-time quarterback champions, Rodgers and Brett Favre,
Tom Brady.
He's better than that.
Exactly.
Which is why last week we were talking about Breeze money. It's a fucking travesty this man don't have his money yet, because I'm gonna tell you, this dude is cool under pressure. He is a gangster pulling that fucking trigger, JB.
That's right.
I want him to have multiple championships. He deserves to have multiple championships, but for that to happen, we have got to become illegal on defense.
That's right.
This last end of the road defense, bro, whether it's a passing league now, whether it's a fucking was a defensive league in the past, where the defense was more favored, the rules were more favored for defenses to stop offenses. Now it's more favorable for the offenses to pass, because basically, like, chicks like the long ball. Mm-hmm. In this game, this fucking fans like points.
Exactly.
So we gotta figure out how to get in that upper echelon of defense, man, in order to continue winning and get these multiple championships. I don't know we can do it with what we have on the field right now. I mean, our defensive coordinator, we talked about this in show 1. I don't want to keep harping on Greg because I want the fans to understand I'm a real fan. I'm not just some guy who talking shit about my team and your team and his team, but I'm a real fucking bona fide fan. And when I see something wrong, whether it's a flaw, even after a win, I'm going to be critical because I want my team to have the best and put the best fucking product on the field that we pay for. So, with that being said, man, you keep seeing Harper being put in coverage positions, JB, and they watch film every week.
Yes.
We watch fucking film, but we don't watch nowhere near the film that these guys watch, supposedly. But every fucking game we see on after a timeout, 3rd and long, he puts fucking Harper in a situation where he's on an island covering a tight end. If I was an offensive coordinator from an opposing team, I'd throw at him every fucking time.
I would too.
He has no ball skills.
None.
He's a hell of a tackler. The bitch can hit. He will sack you. He will rush the quarterback. Put him in those places that do to be in the Pro Bowl every year. But fuck, he got 7.5 sacks. You put him in cover, he can't cover me.
That's right.
And I'm old. Now my fucking football days is over. You know, but I'm saying the dude can't cover, bro. He has no ball skills. So how do we fix this shit?
Well, how do you fix it? You call Greg Williams' ass up and say, hey, keep him off the motherfucking field in obvious passing situations. You know, Roman Harper's kind of like a beautiful woman, but her breath stink. You just can't get over the funk. You can't get over the fact that he has no ball skills. You can't get over the fact that he can't cover tight ends. He can't cover running backs. He can't cover anybody, any place, anywhere on the football field. So I agree with you in that instance. Why have him out there in obvious passing situations when he can't do anything for you but create a liability and a way for the other offense to score points or get yards in serious situations?
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the camera and I'm going to say this. I don't know who fan win this program, but I'm going to say this. If you have the ability to get this film to Greg Williams, do me this favor. Show this part to Greg. Hey, Greg, this your boy Nell. Keep fucking Harper out of coverage. JB, what do you think about our first round draft picks from last year?
Well, let's start off with Cam Jordan. We got a defensive end that reminds me of Charles Grant. Not only because he wears the number 94, because he can't get close to the motherfucking quarterback.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. You got a guy that's on the defensive end. He's got 28 total tackles. Miller, you can get out there and do that. And like I said, he can't get close to the quarterback. I mean, if there was no offensive line there, I don't think he can get to the quarterback. So I think that guy has been a big, huge disappointment for him to come in and be a first-round draft choice on this team. Let's talk about Mark Ingram, 474 rushing yards this year. I think Mark Ingram is a great running back. I think on a team that will feature him as a running back, he would be a Pro Bowl running back. He can get 12 to 15 to 1,600 yards rushing. Unfortunately, I don't think that we should have drafted him at that spot, because we don't really need a guy like that to come in here. We just need role players. But I think he has the talent. I think he's produced for the team. I think he has great vision. And I think he's a good running back. I just question the reason why that we drafted him, because I don't think that we need another running back on this team. So I think our first round draft picks this year have been a total disappointment, in my opinion, because they have not really added to the football team. I think Cam Jordan, obviously, no sacks, 28 tackles, come on. First round pick came to get close to the quarterback. And then Mark Ingram, yeah, he has 474 rushing yards, but did we need to really give up a first round draft pick to bring in next season and bring in a guy I just question why we drafted Mark Ingram, bringing him in here, even though he's a good running back, has great vision, has added some finesse, some power running to this football team, when you could have brought somebody off the streets. Joy Bell was on our practice squad. Right. He was a tough runner as well.
Ivory coming back.
Exactly, and I think that Joy Bell could have brought something to this team. I think he could have had 400 yards rushing, and we could have kept our first-round draft pick for next year, because Lord knows we need defensive help. We need to get some of those linebackers in that first round next year, man.
Man, I agree with you. I just want to ask, I'd like to know, I would really, if I had an opportunity to ask Saints management, what is their thought process? Even Sean Payton, if I had a conversation with Sean and say, Sean, why do you condone carousel play from all positions? I mean, I don't think there's another position on the field where running back is more of a rhythm type position. that kid impresses me so much. For you to say that is a disappointment that we got him. I don't know if I go that far. It's not a disappointment we got him. I'm glad to have Ingram, but if we're gonna have Ingram, we should have got rid of somebody and got something for him.
Now, that's an interesting point.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We gave Pierre some money. Man, the fans fall in love with players, but I think we fall out of love with players just like we fall in love with them. If you ain't producing no more, you gotta get the fuck out of here. It's just that simple. We should have traded Pierre once Ivory came back, got a defensive player for him. We didn't do that. I don't know I don't care how great of a running back a kid is. I don't think he can just come in and be in the game, out the game, in the game, out the game, and be a productive running back in this league. But Sean Payton, that seems to be his system. I know a lot of fans be like, well, fuck, we winning. I mean, everybody, we say we winning, but winning is everything, but you can be better. Yes. And I think that is the key to success, getting better. New England's never been satisfied. Mm-hmm. They won year in, year out. But their method to their madness is we're going to get better every year. Mm-hmm. I don't see us taking these grand steps to get better. I see us trying to win now, but I think we're hurting ourselves for the future, especially with that giving up that first round draft pick for last year. And if you remember, a year ago, he wanted to do the same thing we got Robinson. He wanted to trade up for the kid from the Cardinals have.
Exactly.
From Beanie Wells.
Right.
He wanted to make that same kind of move, but you had a stable of running backs in the house already. Mm-hmm. As far as the Junior Gillette thing, man, we can beat that dead horse all day. This kid's got 4.5 sacks. He plays some of the time. Greg puts him in the game, out the game, in the game, out the game. He can't get a rhythm either. You don't see him pulling Jason Pierre-Paul out of the game anymore, do you?
No, sir.
Yeah, I know, because he's a dog, and we need dogs on this. On this
real
defense.
bona fide pass rushers.
Bona fide pass rushers. And I'm gonna say it till I'm green in the face, and I believe JB We've said that shit.
Exactly. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to another session of Say That Shit, where we had some real talk from a fan's perspective. Look here, if y'all have any suggestions that y'all want to give us so that we can debate them here on Say That Shit, y'all can hit us up at Twitter at SayDatShit1. That's SayDatShit1 at Twitter. Or you can hit us up at our email address at SayDatShit@gmail.com. So until then, we want to peace out and say that shit.